All right, New York City socialist mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani hitting Brooklyn this morning for day 2 of his Five Boroughs Against Trump tour. Let's bring in O'Leary Ventures chairman Kevin O'Leary. I don't know. What do you think about Mamdani? I combined the names,
marketer.
didn't I? That's my new nickname, I guess. Go ahead, Kevin.
I will. I'll give him marks for marketing. I've said this before. He's torn a page out of Elizabeth Warren's and AOC's playbook, getting lots of press, saying outrageous things, raising money. It's starting to smell a little bit like the 6th week of the general election when Kamala Harris refused to put out any policy and just kept, reiterating the same rhetoric over and over again. He's doing the same thing. I'm not getting any policy. I'm one of many investors that have asked his staff for a meeting to get some idea on how he's planning to do this affordable housing thing. I would love to be part of that as an investor, but not if this rhetoric is true, because he won't be able to raise any money. He's offering free everything. Well, that doesn't work in real estate. You have to give investors a market return. I would hope someone on his staff would explain that to him. If not, I can do it for them. But if he doesn't do that, he's going to run into a lot of brick walls, or he's going to charge 150% tax to get everything free in New York, which also isn't going to work.
All right, well, get ready for it, because here he is taking on President Trump during his tour across New York City earlier today. Listen.
What this tour is reflective of is the fact that Donald Trump is attacking this city. It's attacking its people. We've spoken about it in a fiscal sense, in terms of what it will mean to steal food from the hungry, what it will mean to throw sick people off of their insurance, what it will mean to make it even more difficult to afford this city. And so, yes, this is a tour against the Trump administration's attack on New York City voters.
Attack capitalism, right? Kevin, this is just some of what we're hearing from those who come from socialism when they hear his pitch to voters. Listen.
My ears perk up anytime I hear people embracing socialism, especially very privileged people like this aspiring mayoral candidate from New York City. I'm very worried for New Yorkers if he were to be elected in that respect. And so when you come from a family of people who experience that wretched ideology firsthand, you can't help but be worried.
Look at history, research governments that already have these policies in place, and determine if that's something that you want New York to look like.
Why do you fathom, with everything we know and everything we've studied in our history, that anybody like Mamdani think that they can get away with this?
Mamdani's forgotten something very important about the heart of New York. You've got to remember there's that Statue of Liberty there that welcomed all those immigrants in to get away from exactly this, socialism, and embrace the American dream. It was the heart of the American dream, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It's always been the city of inspiration, aspiration, and he is tearing that apart and attacking essentially the American dream. I think, in my opinion, blows up in his face. If he doesn't make it to the mayorship, it's because he didn't respect what the heart of New York is and was and always will be, the American dream. He better get hip to that pretty fast, and that includes meeting with investors like me. It doesn't have to be me, get anybody, because we think he's full of BS right now. I don't believe this rhetoric.
Making it interesting, Kevin. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.